We squeezed under the wire and into the garden and down the brick path to the kitchen. My sister was singing very loudly and happily because it felt like tea time and we had caught so many fish. And I joined her because I was looking forward to seeing Angelica Chesterfield eating the fish I had caught her and thanking me for being so polite and remembering she was a Catholic and that this was Friday. We were making a marvellous noise when Lally appeared at the kitchen door, wiping her hands in her apron. "For the love of dearness, who shut up," she said, her elbows covered in bubbles. "You'll have us all arrested with that noise. Anyone would think you own the whole hill the way you carry on and your tea's on the table." She said this all in one breath and then turned and marched back into the kitchen. "It's rhubarb and ginger today." The kitchen was low and cool. White walls, pink brick floor. There was a smell of paraffin and butter and scrubbed wood and washing in the copper. Tea was scattered about the table, a plate of bread, the jam in a jar with a little white label saying Summer 1929, a big brown teapot with a blue band, cups and saucers, and Minnehaha, our cat, quietly washing his face. "What?" said Lally, after we had washed and were all seated, and she was holding her cup in two hands, her elbows on the table, blowing gently at the steam. "What have we been up to?" "Nothing good, I'll be bound. I said to your mother and father in my letter today, they'll be up to no good, I'll be bound." And she sucked her tea pleasantly down. "We caught 5 roach for Angelica's supper this evening," I said, spreading big lumps of ginger and rhubarb over my bread. "Because she's Catholic and today is Friday," said my sister. "Fancy," said Lally, blowing at her tea and not looking at us at all. "Fancy it being Friday," and settled the cup into its saucer. "And who's going to have to take out their innards and cut off their heads and that, I'd like to know? Who has to wash them and take off the scales with a sharp knife and do all the cooking of them? Answer me that or tell the Prince of Wales if you won't tell me." She buttered herself a piece of toast. "And," she said, putting on her posh voice, "supposing Her Highness Angelica Chesterfield doesn't like muddy-tasting little roach, which should have been left alone in the river, supposing that, then what do we do about her Catholic meal?" She took a big bite out of her bread and butter. We watched her chew away for a while. I put some sugar in my tea and said as politely as possible, "Well, she could always have tinned salmon, couldn't she?" Lally shook her head slowly. No, she said. "No tinned salmon in this house. Your father says it all comes from Japan, and they put ptomaine poison in the odd tin. We don't want that now, do we?" She wiped her lips with the back of her hand, hit my sister a blow for swinging her feet at table, and started to clatter about with the tea things. We washed up in silence, Lally washing up, we drying and putting away. She wiped her hands, lifted my satchel off the dresser, and started to take out the roach. "Well, we'll have to make haste," she said, breaking a longish silence and handling the fish with a practiced hand. "Because Miss Angelica, what's her name, will be here directly. She'll be on the 6 o'clock, and I've no doubt she'll want her supper sharpish after that long journey." The 5 roach didn't look much after she had done all the innard thing and cut the heads off. She smelled them deeply, mentioned that they must be fresh, it was just the mud, and washed them under the tap and flipped them on to an old blue plate. The innards and bits we gave to Minnehaha, the cat. Lally told us to get out from under her feet. We went out and lay on the grass. If you looked straight up, you saw the blue sky and one cloud. If you looked a bit to your left, you could see the grass stalks as big as bamboos and the nodding scarlet poppy as big as a duster. And if you turned your head to the right, you'd see my sister wrinkling her eyes and picking her nose. I hit her. My finger was up my nose. I could have poked my eye out. She lashed a fist at me and it rolled over and we fell into a struggling heap, laughing and howling and trying to sit on each other. In a little while we lay spent, breathless, giggling, our faces pressed into the grass, sniffing its greenness and feeling the sun on the backs of our legs.